Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's get started with the market update. Let's start with the ES futures. That is a chart in front of you. I hope everybody can hear me very clearly. I know lot more people are watching the market update, but try to please join every morning. When you get to ask like live questions and the market is updated in real time. So please try to join the market update. There are, anyway, so let's get started here. Where the ES future is going this morning and what is happening with the stock market. Market is there is a lot of, remember those 2 points of yesterday when we put these resistance line 64.54, the market dropped here, and where did I say we could possibly go and go back up on the market? There's your level right there, 63.74. And the market bounced right off that and went right back up, all the way back to 64.54. So if you guys read the levels well, so where are you going to make your decision today? You're going to make your decision at 64.54. Why are you going to make a decision here? Because this is a major point of resistance or support, depending on if the price is above it, it's going to be support. If the price is below it, it's going to be a resistance. So when the price is moving up and on these levels, so they're pretty accurate levels, guys. And so what are we going to do? What's going to happen possibly with the market? What I see in the market is short-term market is so stabilizing where it is, and a lot will do depend on, we got the JOLTS jobs number today here, ADP numbers tomorrow, and we got the market not the non-farm payroll on Friday. So and next week on Tuesday we got the CPI numbers. So by next week, by CPI numbers, we should know what direction the interest rates are going, what's being cut, how much is being cut, and what they tend to do with it. So lots of interesting. It's going to be a very interesting week till next Tuesday, when all these numbers are coming out. We had the SMI PM numbers come out yesterday. Again, those are weak, and they're showing the U.S. economy weak, and also we'll see what these numbers show us today. So the JOLTS numbers are coming around 10 o'clock, and I don't think there is anything that comes out before. So quickly take a look at the Forex factory here. Let me see, just bring it up here. Forex factory. Here we go. So take a look at what's going on today at 10 o'clock. JOLTS jobs numbers are coming out. 7.38 million. If you don't know what, these are the number of job openings during the last month. So this is what the number of jobs. If these jobs are going up, that means there's more jobs in the economy. That means your economy should be doing well. It should be doing well. So if these numbers are up, but these numbers have been, if you look at this here, the numbers have been going down. See that? That the U.S. economy, there were one time was a lot higher in numbers, and these are consistently going down. Every time they go down, you usually get an interest rate cuts, right? So what do you think was happening back here when all these jobs numbers were going down, and when they started going up, right? That's when they started raising rates, and this is now. They've been talking about lowering interest rates because of these dual job openings are going to the downside. So this is telling, okay, if the interest rates are going down, that's going to help those stock market. It's going to help the stock market. So we'll see how much they're going to lower by, because we have the CPI rate that determines how much interest rates are going to go up and down, and the jobs number are going to determine. So all these things get together: JOLTS jobs number, non-farm payroll, the CPI numbers, and all the other data that we look in. We see all that data, and they join in together to predict where the market is going. So this is telling us they should be cutting interest rates because the jobs are going to the downside in the U.S. So that data is coming out at 10 o'clock. What's also, there's nothing else really that stands out. Kashkari is a Fed member. He'll be talking about market at 1:30. I'm sure he moves up and down. Donald Trump will speak somewhere in there as well somewhere. So tomorrow is the ADP numbers that are coming out that are important right there. where is it? ADP non-farm payroll. I trust this number more than I trust the non-farm payroll that is coming out on Friday. So what these numbers also been, if you take a look at this here, the chart and close up, and these numbers are going down as well. So all these job data and all these other numbers that are telling the U.S. economy is going to the downside. So the best thing about it is when you look at all these histograms, there's only a few one that really show a bad, especially this one here showed a really bad number, but they've been very consistently going to the downside. It's like organized, organized going down. So it doesn't all of a sudden number like this doesn't show up like this here, right? It's been very organized. That's why the market's been holding steady. So all of a sudden we start falling numbers like this one here on this side here. That's when it's really going to be in trouble in the market in the US side. So these are the numbers we're waiting for these are coming out tomorrow, and Friday we got the non-farm payroll, which I'll show you also in this minute here. Where is the non-farm payroll? There it is right there. And when you look at these numbers, look what these numbers are doing as well. They're going to the downside as well, right? So as you see them, let me bring a close see, but do you see the overall picture that these numbers are going to the downside? That's not good either. Okay, the average hourly earnings is very important in there too. That kind of tells you where the inflation is going. If people are making more money and this number is going up, that means it's inflationary number. Okay, so that means inflation is coming into the picture. Unemployment rate for Canada is also coming out on Friday. This number is always wild. They're looking at 9,300 adding jobs. Last time we lost 40,000 jobs, right? This time they're thinking about adding 9,300. So we'll see what that numbers looks like. And the Canadian job data is all over the place. Just basically, we are more reliant on the US side of the economy. What's happening in our economy? Our economy 1 month is way up and the next month is way down. Okay, so let's leave that there and let's go back to the market update. Let's take a look at what's going to happen today. As long as we remain below the 64.54 level, which is the level we are sitting on right now. Okay, if we close above 64.54, this is a day chart, but let's go back to the 1 hour. If we close above here, I'm looking for long. Anything below this here, we're going to go short. So if the market starts going to the downside below here, then obviously to the short side. Right now, the market is on a momentum to the upside. So chances of it going to the upside are much better, but we need the price to close one way or the other. So right now, you can see these candles are going back and forth. This candle here closed above, then it took off a little bit, then this candle closed here to the downside. So they're hugging this 64.54. Let it break out away from 64.54 and then either go long or short depending on what side we break down. And the chances right now are we are going sideways a little bit here till the JOLTS jobs number come out at 10:30 or 10 o'clock, sorry. So that is what's happening with ES futures. And NASDAQ, what's happening with that? Same thing. It's holding to the sideways. We are between the two trend lines here. Break below this here. When we broke this above here was a nice break to the upside. And if we do break to the downside, we go short. And as long as we stay above here, we can stay where we are. But do we see any other trend lines? I'm on the 1 hour right now. This is the 1 hour trend line right there. And I see any other trend lines? You can actually draw another trend line right here, from here, the bottom, and you can touch this here. It's almost, yeah, then you're looking for the break to the downside on this one if you're going to go short to the downside. But this one would be the really one I would go short below. So this one really, let's get rid of that. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Okay, that trend line. But this one does. Okay, so if this one does go below to the downside, definitely would be short on that, and long above this 1 hour line. So both of these are 1 hour trend lines basically. I think this is a day trend line. Sorry, this might be the day trend. I didn't mark it, but anyway, they look pretty much. You know what I mean is if this breaks up, go long. Breaks down, down below this, we're going short on the NQ. Always make your decisions right here and the right here. Look what this decision made. This candle is saying chances are this is going to the upside. So that is a NASDAQ. What about the Dow Jones? Dow Jones is hanging pretty steady. It broke below this trend line here. And look how much short you could have had. But this is the next trend line. If it breaks below here, go short. Above this trend line, go long. And if you break above 45,695, that could take the market to the higher side. What's happening with the oil market this morning? 64.15. The OPEC clan, I'm talking about the Middle East. They are cutting. They're actually increasing output. They're raising the output. So when they raise output, what happens to the price? The oil price goes to the downside. And that's what's happening to oil this morning. Could it go further to the downside? This is the golden line here. If long as it stays above here and touches above here, it's going to go back to the upside. But they are cutting oil. They're increasing oil output. They're increasing output. That's why the price is dropping on oil this morning. Okay, the next one is a gold. Why is gold going to the upside? Remember this trend line here, guys? We talked about this guy. If you broke above here, you go long on gold, and you're still long on gold and continue to be long gold. I see a 4K target on gold coming up very soon. Why? We're gonna get inflation next week. If the inflation number is up, I'm expecting that inflation to go up. If that number is up, we are gonna see gold prices go higher. Because why? Gold is a hedge against inflation, right? So we're going to see gold prices go higher. They're pretty much saying that the gold can, it's a very strong trend. So if you look at the day trend on gold right there, it's very strong. It's already broken the high here. So it's the all-time sitting high. So I'm looking 4K easy on gold, the next level. Very strong trend. Just a beautiful trend. I just loved it when I hope you guys bought it here. When it broke out to the upside, you probably made tons of money. That's how you make money in the market, guys. It's doing your homework, doing your trend lines, following the rules. All right, follow the rules. Don't go trade in between. This was a pretty strong trend up to the here, right? But you don't go until you actually break your trend to the upside or to the downside. You actually break. Look how many times this thing here touched, right? So always follow the rules. And if it goes back the other way, for example, if you took it long here and went on the other way, well, then it's time to exit if it goes below that trend line again, right? As long as it's closed above and the price kept on going to the upside, that was fine. And the Russell 2000, what's happening with the small caps? It's holding pretty steady. It's waiting for the rate cuts. I still think the rate cuts is going to take this index higher. Okay, even though we had this coming to the downside yesterday, but I still think this index is it's a small micro cap. But if they get the market interest rate cuts, this will pop a little more to the upsides. Right now, it's holding on this to resistance right here, and I do think it's going to break to the upside. And IWM is the way I would play this. IWM, this is where I would go and buy. Okay. Still, I think this is going to the upside. So if you bought a couple of weeks ago when we told you to, that you still should be ahead of the game, right? But it's going to continue to the upside. So I do think IWM goes higher. The VIX is telling us the volatility is picking up in the market. So you saw this thing go up to the yesterday. Now it's settled down a little bit this morning after, all the, the tariff there yesterday. We didn't know where that money was going to come from. We don't know where Donald Trump done with that tariff money. So Treasury was all worried about they might have to print more dollars, and that's why we had this market pick up to the upside yesterday. So things are a little bit cool this morning. They're calm. We don't get that decision till October. When the market does make the Supreme Court does make a decision on those interest rates, whether those tariffs are legal or not. Okay, so Donald Trump is already thinking about different routes, what he's gonna do. Okay, if he doesn't get that approval from Supreme Court, and Supreme Court strikes it down to the downside. Okay, the 10-year this morning is rising. This is the bonds, guys. I want to talk about a little bit about the bonds right here. before I continue with the market. I know it's going to take a little bit longer before we get to the stocks, but I think this is a very critical moment that we need to talk. The reason I'm going to bring another screen in front of me, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So when I bring, let's go here. I'm going to go to the world bonds. I put it in a list. These are the bonds you should worry about. The United States #1 bond, you got to worry about that too. Number 2, you got to worry about the Japanese one. Number 3, you got to worry about the Euro bonds. Okay, and the number 5 is the United Kingdom. Okay, so those are in the order of list of bonds you should worry about. So why am I worried about it? Why? Let me show you something. Okay, let me show you something. Where is it? This one is not too bad, okay, but it's going to the upside. The yield is going up. If we get yield break above this 4.75, especially 4.5, we're going to see a correction in the market. Okay, why are the bonds so important? Okay, let me tell you why the bonds are so important. Bonds are so important because they're inversely to interest rates. Okay, when the yields go up, what do the bonds do? Bonds go down. Okay, bond prices go down. That means people are losing capital gains, right? People are losing capital gains. So why is that important? Because there are so many banks that are holding bonds, so many insurance companies that are holding bonds short term. Why? If they start going down, that means they're losing their capital. If they're losing their capital, they don't have money sitting there if they wanted to buy stocks. So what are they going to do if the bond prices start coming down? This is going to start further correction. The yield's going to go higher. The bond prices are going to go even lower. Remember, that was a problem when the interest rates were so low. So you would say, hey, when the interest rates were so low, it was the opposite problem. Well, yeah, because the interest rates were too low. Now they're sort of yields are getting too high because everybody's selling those bonds. Bonds are very critical in the market, guys. When you buy a bond, you expect that bond to actually make you money, not lose money. So when the bond prices go down, they are actually losing money. Even though yield is going up, you're going to get your interest rate, but the bond price is going down. Okay? That's what hurts everybody. It hurts the banks. It hurts the insurance companies. It hurts anybody that is trying to protect their capital. And when they start losing that capital, the stock market will crash because they won't have the money, okay, sitting there. Okay, do you guys understand? Anybody understand that? If you have a question, please ask, right? I want to make sure you understand that. You need to understand to, invest in the stock market. Okay, very critical.
Ajit, yeah, can you explain again, please?
So basically what I'm saying is when they're selling bonds, let me stop this noisy. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I got these automatic thing running here. I'll go here. Let me just shut that off. Oh, come on. Let me just shut this up. Notification off. I don't want play sound. Get off. Save. Okay, so now we should not get noisy. Okay, so what the bonds are, when the people are investing in bonds, they invest it for short term to hold their cash, like a lot of banks do, a lot of insurance companies do, a lot of financial companies out there, even people buy bonds to get a steady income. But the problem becomes when the people start selling bonds. And why do they start selling bonds? Is because when they don't trust, let's say, a country, or they don't trust the dollar, that the dollar could fall. That's when people start selling these bonds, and the bond prices start going up. The bond prices start going down. Bond prices start going down. Yields start going up. And when bond prices start going, oh come on, I got another one running somewhere. Oh. Let me shut this off. Okay. So when the bond yields go up, the bond prices go down. So when you have bonds, you start losing your capital. Okay, who wants interest in 6 months down the road when I'm losing capital right now? And that's what when the capital starts losing, the banks start losing their capital, and the insurance companies start losing their capital. They panic, and they further start selling the bonds to the downside because they don't want to lose their capital. Because insurance companies are required by law, especially in Canada, to hold like cash in the short term things like bonds, short term bonds, short term GICs, and stuff like that. So they are required to hold that amount of cash. And when that cash start to dwindle to the downside, they start panicking. And when they start panicking, they start selling the bonds, and they also start selling the stocks because they want to raise cash. Okay, so both, you will see both bonds will crash and you will see the stock market crash together. Okay, so and people, banks, especially banks, they hold tremendous amount of these 10-year treasuries or these 5-year treasuries, 3-year treasuries. Your mortgages are based on 5 years. Okay, your mortgages are based on between 5 to 10 years. When you get a 5-year mortgage in Canada, they're based on 5-year bonds. Okay, the risk is huge right now because the bond yields keep going up. So let me get back to my chart here. Let me show you, go back here. So I showed you the US here. Where is my other chart? Bear with me here. Oh, sorry, here. So this is a US bond, okay? And it's holding up pretty steady up there. So when we look at the other ones, let's take a look at the Japanese bond. Look at this Japanese bond. It's climbing. Okay, this yield is climbing, and if this yield keeps going higher, this is going to put them in put these bonds in risk. Further, the yield will go up, the bond prices will go down. Okay, remember, I'm holding those 3 bonds. I'm still holding, but I could be losing big money as well as the bond. If the bonds do, if the yields keep going up, I'm going to lose money on those bonds. Okay, so I'm going to lose money on those bonds. So if these yields keep climbing, and this is a Japanese bond. Take a look at this United Kingdom bond. Look at this bond. They're hitting right there. They're sitting at a resistance. Okay, and what other bonds here? Let me, German bonds here. Look at, they're all climbing. You see the picture, guys? The yields are all climbing, and we just got to be very careful of these ones. Even the Canadian bonds are. You look at the Canadian bond. Every single bond out there basically is climbing, especially all the G7s. And France is probably up there too. They're all ready to break out to the upside, and if they do, it's going to be a major problem for the stock market. Okay, so be very careful. If you can take profit out of them, do take them. Okay, so remember, when the yields go up, if they need to borrow money, it's going to cost them a lot more. So cash is king right now. Okay, so take some profits. If you do have some profits out there, do start taking some profit. I think it's I think it's worth it right now, just to be safe. Again, okay. Any did you understand, or any other question?
No, thank you, Paji. I got it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have a question, guys? Please ask. I know this is difficult. Not everybody talks about this stuff. When you're doing market update, nobody talks about this stuff. They talk about just stocks. Stocks are going to go up, stocks are going to go down. But this is a risk factor in the market that you should understand. That in case tomorrow, when they're going to say the whole stock market fell down, the stock market didn't fall because of the stocks. It fell off because the background, what makes the stock market tick. These bond price, the bonds are more are traded more than actually the stock market itself. Bonds are trillions and trillions of dollar bonds are traded every single day, and they're the largest market. And the Forex market is even bigger than the stock market. Okay, so world currencies are trading, bonds are trading, Forex is trading, is much bigger than the stock market. Okay, we live in the stock market world because we buy stocks, sell stocks. That's what governs our portfolio. But if you look at the background in all this bonds and look at all this data that comes out, that's what actually runs the stock market. So that's why I'm being so just I don't want to I'm not setting alarms right now. I'm just saying look what's going on in the market. So just be careful that you don't get into trouble when the market does all of a sudden flip. I don't know if the market's going to flip. I don't know market's going to drop today, tomorrow. I don't know that. But I know that I'm sitting on an edge where I feel like it's like when you start a flu, right? If you don't do anything about it, if you don't take the pill, right, it's just gonna get worse. So you're gonna come in at one time. You're gonna end up in a bed somewhere if you don't take care of that flu. It's a stock market, the same thing. What's cures for the stock market? Interest rates up, interest rates down, and trying to get your economy going. Okay, those are the things that will push the stock market to the upside downside. So any other questions, guys? Anybody have a question? If anybody can't open their mics, guys, just let me know. And we will go further into the details of this. I know we're doing another class this afternoon on microeconomic numbers. Today we're going to be doing the CPI, PPI, right, and PCE. So three inflationary numbers, and we'll compare them. What the difference between all three of them are. Okay, when you see those numbers. So Jerome Powell looks at CPI, PPI, PCE, jobs number, and GDP. He looks at 5 things. The other things are minor. Those are the 5 critical things that Jerome Powell looks at. Okay. So anybody have any questions here? We go further. We can talk about the put call ratios. All right, let's talk about the put call ratios. It stayed pretty even. If you look at the SPY put call ratio stayed 1.02, not much movement. Same thing with the triple Qs at 1.15. They're still leaning more towards the call side. Okay, but look what happened to IWM. IWM, I think, got scared. It went very heavily towards the let me go to IWM here. It went very strong towards, look what's happening with the market. Maybe they are right. So let's take a look at the hourly chart. So maybe they are right. So far the market is to the downside. So IWM went very straight more forward to the call side, put side here, to the downside. That's where the market seems to be going. Okay. So I think the market continues to the downside a little bit on the sideways, the way this put call ratio is, but that's not the only factor that we're going to determine how the market's going to go. Okay, so I think pretty much let's see as the market goes today. So I would continue with the risk off in the market, and let's see. Even though the market is up this morning, we are up 160 points on the Nasdaq and 22 points on the ES. But let's see where we're going to stand with these numbers, JOLTS jobs number that are going to come out 10 o'clock. And let's take a look at the Bitcoin fans. Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is expecting a rate cut. It's holding pretty steady. So where is all that money going when it's coming out of the bonds? Okay, a little bit of money is going into the Bitcoin because remember we are selling off the bonds a little bit, and that money is a little bit going into the Bitcoin. Where's the rest of the money going? Anybody want to guess? It's going in the gold. Everybody's putting in gold. Gold is up 18 bucks. That's where the money that's coming out of the bonds right now is going more into this right here. Right here. Okay. So this is where you want to be, this level here. This is where the money is going. That's why I say it's coming 4K. As long as the yield keeps going up on the bond, you're gonna see the gold prices still going to the upside. Okay, so that is a Bitcoin there, guys. Take a look at this. What else is going on in here? If you want to take a look at the forex market again, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭਾਜੀ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ
ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
ਭਾਜੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਬੌਂਡ ਸੈਲਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਮਨੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਉਹ ਵਾਰੀ
ਉਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬੌਂਡ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ ਇਨ ਦ ਬਿਟਕੋਇਨ ਐਂਡ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ ਇਨ ਦੀ
ਮਿਸ ਕਰ
ਗੋਲਡ
ਗਿਆ ਸੌਰੀ
ਸੀ
ਮੈਂ
ਦ
ਮਿਸ
ਗੋਲਡ
ਕਰ ਗਿਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਮਿਸ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ
no,
ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ
it's okay. Don't worry. Thank you for asking. But it's going in the gold. It's going in gold. It's going a little bit in Bitcoin. That's where it's going right now. And a lot of it is in cash.
ਓਕੇ
Okay.
ਓਕੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ
Yeah. A lot of it is in cash. So, anybody else have a question? If you can't open your mic, guys, just let me know. Should we add further gold? Shashant, I would, right now gold is running, but keep a tight stop if you're going to further buy gold. I still think gold is going higher. But if you took my advice on the gold when you bought it back here, remember when let me go back to the gold chart. So if you took my advice back here, bought it here, well, I think you should be in tons of money right now, right? But yeah, if you want to buy further, I still see gold prices going higher. But you're going to just keep it, make sure you have a tight stop. Okay? So these lines work in wonders. Okay? We'll take a look at more of them. We'll teach you more of them, how to draw them, support, resistance, trend lines, right? Well, chart patterns and stuff like that. We'll all share here. Next, where I was going, a little bit on the Forex, that's where I was going. The Forex market overall, it's doing pretty well. And you can see the US Canadian right now, they're a little bit getting stronger on the Canadian dollar. Why? Because the yields are going up on the American bonds. Same thing with the euro. Euro is a little bit down. Same thing with the, watch, this is where to buy the euro. Same thing with the pound is headed to a little bit to, remember it was here last week. That's why those yields are popping, and that's why these bonds are these forex the foreign currencies is dropping. Okay. The other thing is signaling also with these bonds going up, they should not cut interest rates. Okay, that's another thing that's being said next week, but I'll talk about more as we get close to that. Let's talk about some stocks this morning, guys. Earnings came out on some. Let's go here. Earnings. Salesforce earnings are coming out today. That's what it looks like. PM. Yeah, I think that's what it shows here on me. So they're coming out. Let's talk about which one came out with Dollar Tree this morning. Guys missed. Let's go to Dollar Tree. Okay, I was watching this stock this morning, and it went right popped up. It had great earnings, right? It had great numbers. Right, this is incredible. These numbers, I mean, these are great in incredible numbers. So what took this thing to the downside? Soon as they opened their mouths, so soon as the CEO opened his mouth, the stock just went to the downside. And why? Because of guidance. So this, I think, is an opportunity to buy. If you took some profits, as we talked about it there last week, that's fine. But I mean, it's gonna be an opportunity to buy. When I was looking at, I thought about many times just to buy it here, right, when it was down here. But it went quickly. It didn't give me a chance. It moved so quick. Same thing. It moved up very quickly. It moved down very quickly. Okay, so it didn't give me a chance. So I'm looking to buy. Dollar Tree. I like Dollar Tree. I hold already Dollar Tree. It's still a lot higher from where we were back here. All right, when we bought back here, still it's in a good profit. But if you took a profit, that's fine. But I'm looking to buy back. But not right now. I'll just sit here and see if we can get further. This is basically about guidance. It's nothing to do with the earnings. Earnings were very strong. I was expecting them strong. Remember last week when we had Dollar General? Dollar General gave a good guidance, and they pushed the stock to the upside last week. And this stock went along with it, right? But this morning, these guys, I don't know what the purpose of these guys were. I don't know. The CEO guy, I don't know what he was thinking. He should have just kept his mouth shut. This stock would have been like $118 right now or higher. But anyways, I really don't know why they did what. And I put those on what they did in. You look at it, see, dollar in the chat. I did put it, but it's a guidance that really took it to the downside on Dollar Tree. So I'm really a little bit ticked off with that CEO what we were saying. Okay, and if you want to see the transcript, I will post this transcript a little bit later on. You want to take a look at that. Okay, so that is one stock. Let's talk about you. If you want to talk about stocks, please put it in the chat. UEC, uranium. This is another continues to the upside, ready to break. My target is $15 on it. Very strong chart to the upside. It's going along with the uranium prices. Uranium prices where they are this morning. Let me just take a quick peek here. Commodities. Where is the uranium prices this morning? Uranium prices are sitting at $76.66 per pound, and that is leading to the upside. Next target on uranium is $80. If you keep this price keeps going into the upside, this will easily reach $15 target. So you know why when you look at a stock like this stock here, you need to pay attention to the uranium prices. Okay, that's when we teach you how to look at a stock properly. Somebody gives you a stock, you don't only look at the fundamentals, you also look at that commodity, because this is a commodity. You want to check out the commodity price. If the commodity price of this is going up, if the price is going up, guess what the stock's going to be doing? They're going to be going up, just like copper prices, right? You follow the copper. If you want to go buy a copper stock like Tech stock on the TSX, TECK is the ticker. They're very good in producing copper. Their mines produce copper. But if you want to see that stock go up, you want to see the copper prices go up, right? So that's the way you should, when you invest in any stock, you got to look at the underlying fundamentals of what they are selling and if the prices are going up or down, or people have the demand for that. Okay, simple enough. Anybody have a question? Everybody's good. Okay. UEC is one of, we bought at 650 and I couldn't believe it how fast it really moved back up. And I like the original chart. I was hoping for more of a dip to buy, but I did get into 650. I know a lot of people. I know one guy who bought a whole bunch of it. He's still holding on to it. I wish I'd followed his lead and just should have put a lot of money into this one. But anyways, it's gonna double. It's up once it doubles. Guys, you wanna maybe take 50% of the profit and let your profits run. Okay, let your profits run. So I think this is a good cheap. It's cheaper compared to CCJ, right? If you go look at CCJ, Chemical Corporation, right? This one has really had a long run up. It's a little expensive too. This is the largest producer of uranium in Canada, or maybe even the world. Okay, very good mines. And one thing you guys got to remember, when you look at even commodities, okay, like when you look at uranium, there's a lot of companies out there produce uranium, but the quality of the uranium matters. Quality, okay? The quality is on CCJ is very good. Okay, very good compared to all the other. That's why this stock is expensive right now, $76.20. Can it go higher? If the prices keep going up, this will definitely keep going to the upside. So anybody else want to talk about any other stock, guys? I know, Gurkeet, you put a whole bunch of them in there. They're all good stocks. Quickly, we can look at the charts, APP. Again, they're ready to break out to the upside. So very solid. Fundamentally, can it keep going to the upside? Let's take a look. Statistics, price to earnings. It's a little bit expensive. By quickly looking at these numbers, always compare this number to historical numbers. Are they higher or less? If these numbers are higher, that is not good. The only number that I like lower is, these numbers should be lower than the historical numbers. So if they're lower, that is good. Okay, right now this one's high, this one's high, this one's higher, this one's higher. So that's why this stock looks a little expensive to me right now. Okay, RKLB, let's take a look. If I can't get the fundamentals to agree, or I can't get technicals to if for longer term, if I can't get the technicals and the fundamentals to agree for longer term, I stay out of the stock. Very simple. I need both of them to agree for longer term to buy a stock. But short term, all you need is technicals. But if you were looking at this stock here on the short term, the technicals look good, right? You can buy it, but you gotta hold a very tight stop onto it. Okay, very simple. Rocket Labs, RKLB, another good stock. Competition to SpaceX. Okay, buy it. Again, technically is good. If you want to buy this stock, go ahead, but keep a tight stop. But what about the fundamentals? Okay, fundamentals. Remember, this is a new stock, so it's not going to. The fundamentals are not going to be that strong. It doesn't have a price to earnings ratio. Price to sales ratio is too high. So it's a new stock. So what you want to see when the new stock is, you want to see revenue. Okay, revenue is growing. It's doubling. Yes, no problem. What about the market cap? Market cap is 23 billion and the revenue is 400 billion. I think this looks expensive. If I can look at the revenue and I look at the market cap, it looks expensive. But technically, if you're trading it, fundamentals don't agree with me. The technicals do agree with me. But I'm only going to trade this stock on technically, but I'm going to keep a very tight stop. You guys understand my theory of investing? That's how I do my investing. So if I want to buy this stock, I'm only buying on the technicals and I'm keeping very tight stop. Okay, that's the way I invest. Okay, let's take a look at TEM quickly. Same thing. Technically looks good. Keep a tight stop. What about fundamentally? Revenue is growing 800 million. What does market cap look like? So this one doesn't look too bad. And if you look at the statistics, overall doesn't look big. Again, that's a new company. You gotta look at the revenue. Revenue is growing, right? What do they do? They're in healthcare. Okay, machine learning, healthcare. Okay, that's fine. Right. Headquartered in Chicago. Again, price to earning base, it's negative, but future earnings are getting a little bit positive slowly, but still in the negative territory. So fundamentally, I'm not very happy with it, but I'm okay with it. But technically, I'm trading this on a tight lease, like a very so technically it's okay. ASM. I really need to jump over head and over heels to say, hey, this stock is a buy or a sell quickly. So take a looking at this one, ASM, very small stock, $4.70. Very beautiful chart. Technically, I would buy it and keep a tight stop. Technically, I would buy it. What about fundamentally? So what is this is into silver and gold. Okay, focuses on silver and gold. Prices are going up. $696 million company. What about revenue? 64. I like it. What the numbers look like? They're probably their numbers okay. Price. These numbers are a little bit high, right? The numbers are a little bit high. What about earnings? They're positive, right? That's fine. Dividend, no. Revenue is good. It's okay stock. I would buy it, but I would again keep a tight stop. Okay, this is a real estate, I believe. Yeah, look for a breakout right there, 82, 84. If interest rates do come down, this stock will go to the upside as well, and I would definitely be a buyer at a breakout right there. If you hold it, if you have it, hold on to it, right? So I think the interest rates coming, the cut that are going to pump this stock to the upside. Okay, so that's R. ACHR, these are flying cars, I believe. Archer Aviation. Again, this is new. This is one of the company that building up flying cars. So right now the stock is coming down. I would not buy it on the technicals here. Okay, I would wait for it to turn around back to the upside. So on technical side of buying this stock, no. Fundamentals, let's take a look. Overview, revenue, nothing. Earnings, very negative. No, right now I would not buy this stock. Just wait for it to turn around. I like this stock. They're into flying cars. I like their technology, but right now is not the time to buy this stock. Okay, CXDO. Okay, a sideways stock, been going now for over a year. Technically, it's okay, but it needs to, not a greatest setup. But let's take a look at fundamentally, see if it's worth it. Numbers don't look too bad. I like price to sales ratio. Yeah, numbers don't look too bad. What about revenue? Revenue is around 50 million. What's the market cap on this one? It's 190. So look, it looks reasonable. It looks reasonable. It's a small company, but it's a bigger risk. They're into broadband internet services, which is fine. Technology, but they're fine, but very small company. Okay. I don't invest usually in these kind of small companies. I don't like the chart overall, but the fundamentals are okay. So that doesn't convince me that I could go out and buy this stock. Okay, it's not convincing me enough. Okay. Apple is definitely getting a boost from Apple. Everybody knows Apple won a court yesterday where they said they can keep their Chrome part of the company. Okay, so right now that's why Apple has been jumping for the last 2 years, sitting at $237 level. So they're gonna, I think it's about $20 billion savings for Apple when Chrome or Google won that case yesterday. So this one here is going to the upside. Should you buy it today? It could be a day trade, right? But it's running on Google. Okay. Quickly day trades. Yeah. Okay. Apple, yeah, 250 target. It can, sure it can. It can run for the next few days to the upside. That's what is actually keeping the market steady right now is Apple and Google. And take a look at Google. Google has made a nice jump. Since we kind of put a buy on this stock since they made that deal with the Meta stock. Meta, $10 billion deal from the cloud. So this stock is sitting at what 224 right now? Yeah, 226. Okay, nice jump from that case from yesterday on Google. Okay. And Spain Leap iPhone launch, i7, yeah. Anyways, guys, 9:03. Wow, time, I didn't even know we got that late. So I'm going to stop here and let Harvey update. We will talk about more stocks after Harvey does his market update. And I will be right here till the market opens. Okay. So I will see you guys in a short little time here. Thank you.
All right, good morning, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Wednesday morning, ready for markets ahead. So yesterday was pretty interesting. We had some heavy downside starting